How's everybody? I'm eating chicken and rice because that's what I eat now. It's chicken rice and oats. So that's been my life. So I just thought I would create a post or a video. Say happy New Year to those. So just happy New Year to everybody and to my friends and family. That kind of away of social media for a few months, and I thought I would download it again because I'm a lot more disciplined now. I was using Instagram and Facebook a bit too much with like scrolling and going through reels, and I wasn't like putting time into kind of things that I needed to do. So now I have like a lot more rich structure, a lot more disciplined with how I interact with social media and the way that I just kind of interact day to day. I thought I would post a video just because just to let people know I'm okay. Just let my friends and family know that I still have crazy hair. That's always looks like it always looks horrible. I always don't always just have it like always scruffed up. But anyways, I had quite a rough last bit of 2024, and a lot was going on, and I think I had to kind of take a step back and kind of think about my life again and where I want to do and what I want to do and how I'm going to become a little bit more effective in the way I engage in my life and improve in lots of things that I do. I became very engrossed, I think, in lots of parts of my life and what other people think about me. And I never thought I did. I always said like, oh no, I don't care what other people think about me. I don't care about other people. But I did a lot. And I think I cared a lot about other people's opinions, and I cared about a lot of people's opinions as well who weren't in my life as much anymore, or people that I missed or like I wasn't seeing anymore, and I'd see like posts or I'd see or I'd think about other people, and I think it was becoming a bit much for me where I thought maybe I wasn't being myself as much, and I think I fell into like quite a bad slump in my life. So I thought, let me kind of figure out what works for me. So I started to speak to like doctors, like GPs. I spoke to, I got like a CBT app. You can kind of like find methods to look at how to improve yourself and how to improve your own kind of thoughts and the way that you process life and the day, and try to make the days feel a bit more easier for me to cope with. So for like the past 3-4 months, I started hitting the gym. I got a gym membership because I canceled my gym membership, and then I was like, oh, but I really love one thing I missed doing from South Africa when I moved to the UK was swimming. So that was one thing that I went back to. So I found I found a swimming gym. It's an aquatics gym, which is actually in Manchester, which is en route, like a tram route, on the way back from work. So I've been doing that, and I thought I love swimming so much from my high school days. Let me try and kind of get back into it. So I signed up for swimming classes this year, and I'd love to see how far I can go with that. And that's kind of like, and swimming and also gym in general have been really helpful for me. And the one thing I realized I lacked, especially with not doing so well in university last year, was discipline. And you can be a hard worker, but you can lack discipline. That's kind of like what I learned a lot. I was working very, very hard, but I was lacking discipline. So I would take jobs to get extra money, and I would do lots of things that weren't part of what would improve my life or what would make things better for me, and instead just made my life more stressful. I didn't have like a rigid structure. I didn't like to take breaks, so I wouldn't take holidays off. Now I'm taking holidays off. So that was kind of like a really, so that wasn't like a really good thing that I was doing for my life. I kind of got in the thick of just working so much and not investing any discipline or life into having a rigid structure. So I'd miss assignments for classes, I would miss class times online. And I realized if you're going to work and study for a degree at the same time, you can't, you have to be disciplined, and you have to have, you're not going to have motivation. Like I had no I still don't have any motivation, and I hate going to gym after work, but I go to gym after work because that's the best time. I'm very tired after work, but having that discipline where you go even when you don't want to go, that has really impacted my life for the better. The one thing I think that maybe you noticed is also like when I was on maybe sometimes posting on my stories or whatever, is my accent was a little bit different. It's becoming a bit more maybe sounding a bit more UK, more American. I used to actually manipulate my accent a lot because I wanted to be more like the people I was interacting with. So I would try to mask my accent as best I could, because I have a very kind of Johannesburg type accent, which is, it sounds, it doesn't sound super thick, but it doesn't sound British 100%. And also my accent doesn't fit the kind of bit of the stereotypical accent of certain types in South Africa either. So I always tried to kind of change my accents to the way I interacted with people, but it wasn't kind of the accent that I spoke with mostly at home or with people I was very, very comfortable with. So I also realized I did that. I did that mostly unconsciously, and I did that so people would notice me, and there was a lot that was going on, I think, that was transforming in my life, and I really had to focus on how do I get better in the way that I think and interact with people. I was also investing so much time, and I still sometimes do it unconsciously. I spend so much time investing in people who wouldn't even bother to text me back, or and I'm not blaming anybody, because it's just the way that I was. I don't realize that I do these things, and I think I don't realize that, I think if people wanted to invest in me or invest in my time or wanted to interact with me, they would. People would interact with me. So if I'm texting somebody and they don't want to text me back, or that's not like a reflection on me, but it does mean that I shouldn't invest as well, put so much time and effort into people who aren't wanting, and that's their own rights, that don't want to put time back in me. But it would be a disservice to myself to put time and energy into people that aren't putting time and energy into me. I should put time and energy into people who actually want to put time and energy into me. So that's like my mom and my dad. Like my dad, he will, if I call him, he will answer the phone. If he misses the phone, he'll call me back. If I text my parents, they will actually text me back. My best friend in the States, I will text him, and he has a busy schedule. He's a busy guy. And he still takes the time to text me back, or even makes time to meet up with me online so that we can chat and play games online. Those are people I should invest in. There's so many people that I started putting this time into, and I should be investing in the people who actually want to be with me. And I think we don't realize that we do that. I wasn't realizing I was doing that. And I get so engrossed in trying to impress people, or trying to I think it was like an abandonment issue. Well, not I think, I know. And how do you work on that is to, you got to I had to break away from social media. I had to not feel this because every time I see other people having a good time, other people having a good life without me who were in my life, I'm like, oh, like maybe was it something that like I am, or is it something that's wrong with me? When it's not. People will always live their lives. People always have a good life, want to have a good life. And when people are posting, there's a lot that we don't know that's going on behind the scenes. Some people are having a really terrible time, but they sometimes will post, or they'll sometimes put on what is something that's good that's happening to them, that appears good, because they want to put this image of, I am okay, even though there's a lot going on. So that kind of, you can look at two ways about it. I think it's just the way people think differently. I don't like to do that. If I'm not happy, I don't like to kind of fake it till I make it, or I don't as much, or I don't like to, or I kind of like, I can become very, very isolating. And I just didn't want to see other people having a good time. It sounds weird, but I didn't want to see people having this great time and I'm so miserable. That's such a weird thing that our minds do, but I think unconsciously I was doing that. So I'm back on like Instagram now, but I only limit it to about 5-10 minutes, just so I can know that, just to kind of also have that discipline where, because social media is a big part of the world. So to be completely cut off of it, I think would be a little bit isolating. But I think in like microdoses, so having it 5-10 minutes and timing myself. And so I'm rambling a lot. And if someone's watching this quite, all the way to the end, I don't know why you want to hear me talk. But I wanted to make a video just to share what's going on in my life. Because there probably are people who genuinely care. And I'm probably going to do it more often. I think I've always loved, when I was a kid, film and photography from high school. And I'm trying to do more of the things that I love. It starts off with probably a selfie and a camera and just kind of rambling on. And then you start making it more as you kind of get more comfortable with it. I'm trying not to isolate myself as much this year, and probably in the future from a lot of people, but I want to do it in a responsible way that benefits me. And also where I can share with people who genuinely care about me. I can't always text them, or I was away, or sometimes it's actually just people who want to see how other people are doing. If I had somebody who I hadn't seen in years and they posted a long video about their lives, I'd watch it. Just to know how they're doing and to support them, I suppose. I was thinking, let me start posting a bit more, just to kind of allow people to, if they were interested, or if somebody wanted to know what's going on in my life, or what am I doing in my life, to start being a bit like that. Because I'm not going to put like pressure on myself to do it, but I'm going to try and start kind of posting a bit more videos about what's going on in my life, just to kind of, also to keep myself a bit more accountable. So this year, I'm trying to improve my swimming. So I've got classes, and I train about 5 to 6 times a week to have a bit of break, especially when you're swimming. So I mix weights and cardio. So typically my day, usually what I've been doing for the last 3 months is, so I wake up at about 5 in the morning. I try to get everything ready. I will start, so that'll usually be my study time between 5 and 6:30. So it'll be starting and kind of getting ready. So I have to shower and everything, but obviously it's an hour and a half. Then I run to the tram. So I run to the tram. I don't walk because it takes too long. So I usually run, and I get there, it's about a mile to the tram. So I get there in about 9 minutes, and then it's about 50 minutes to an hour. The tram stops, and sometimes it varies on how long it takes to get there. But I take a tram, and it's about an hour there. I'd probably film the process at some point, but it takes about an hour to get. Typically, it takes about an hour to get to work. So the tram takes me almost kind of directly to where I work. It's like maybe just 200 meters from where I work. So once I get to work, typically there at about 8, and then I leave the office. Well, not the office. I leave the clinic. I'm a vet nurse, so I'll leave the clinic around about between 7 and half 7, depending on how busy it is. So once I go from there, I go straight to the Manchester Aquatic Centre, which is in pretty close to which is around about the city centre in Manchester. Is I start off with weights. So I have like a day, like Monday will be I'll isolate. So I do like mostly isolation types of workouts. So I'll do like chest and biceps, or then the next day I'll be doing a mixture of probably like triceps and back. So I usually do that by 40-50 minutes. And then I rush down because you have to make a booking for your times to swim. So then I rush down. So I did swim about 3-4 times a week for now. So I rush down and then I swim. So I try to swim, and I vary my swimming exercises. So I'm at the gym for typically about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I kind of arrive home, it's about 10:30, 11. I'll pop my stuff into the laundry. I'll clean up my house when I can, and then I'll sleep, and then I'll wake again about 5:30. I usually use my study time, so I can study on the tram, which is great. I've got like a little tablet, so I can study on the tram, and I can also study at work, because at work I have a pretty good lunch break, between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how busy it is. So about 30 minutes, an hour. And when I arrive really early to work, if I finish my admin, I can fit in some studying there. So I usually get to work early so that I can, whatever admin I have, I do that first, and then and then when everything's kind of chilled with my admin and all the admin's kind of sorts for that morning, because I have to check the surgical diary and everything. And my nursing consults. So if it's looking pretty chilled, and if everything looks in control, then I have a bit of time to study before the first lot of consults and surgical admits come in. So that's what I do typically on a weekday. On the weekends, I sleep in. So I typically try to get about 8 hours, 8 to even 9 hours of sleep. Sometimes I sleep a little bit more depending on how it is, but typically 9 hours, 8 hours. So I will probably wake up at like 7, about 7, and sleep at about midnight. Yeah, so I sleep usually about midnight. Midnight's like my sleep time. So midnight to kind of 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I wake up. And that's when most of the bulk of my studying will be done. So I get Tuesdays, Saturdays and Sundays off. Well, every third Sunday I work. On the weekends, that's when I can do a lot of the bulk of my swimming. So I can go to gym and I can do about an hour of weights, and then I can do an hour and a half of swimming. So that's when I kind of also do a lot of my swimming training. And then Sunday is kind of a rest day. Well, I either choose Sunday or Tuesday as a rest day. So that's typically how I kind of maintain. And then I study in between. Then I'm starting to have a more fun time. So I've been looking at maybe going to rock climbing. I love to watch like series now, like crime dramas and everything. So I love a good crime drama, I think. So I'll do that on the weekends just to kind of chillax, and meal prep. So like eating chicken and rice. So I like to, so on my days off, so Tuesday and a Saturday and sometimes a Sunday, I will meal prep. So I usually make enough for a few days. So I usually like chicken rice. So in the mornings, I usually like to make oats, and I have a protein shake that's laced with like lots of vitamins and things like that. So I usually have oats in the morning. So once I get to work, I usually have like pre-packed oats, and then I make oats, and I have a protein shake called Huel, Huel, and it has like 26 vitamins, and it's got like some lots of protein in it, so it's really, really good. I love it. And sometimes I'll have a bit of a caffeine boost, so I usually have like a Red Bull. Sorry to all those who are not really a fan of caffeine, but I love my caffeine. That's what I have. And then for lunch, usually like sometimes I get like a pre-packed, or I pack lunch. So it'll usually just be the chicken rice, chicken breasts, sweet potatoes that are quick to pop in the air fryer. when I make it for work. Or sometimes I get pre-packed meals, so the stuff that I can get from the store, like pasta with chicken and pasta and or like it's mostly just pasta and chicken, or pasta and ham. I love bacon, so pasta and ham's the best. Evening, I usually have chicken rice or duck and rice. So sometimes I spoil myself, and on the way back from the aquatic center, on the way to so it takes about a mile. It's about a mile from the tram to because I stop at St. Peter's Square and then I walk to the aquatic center. So it takes me about 10-12 minutes. And on the way, there's like lots of food courts, and one is called Wok, where they have where you can kind of like mix a lot of things together. So you can get like noodles, and so like I sometimes make noodles with Singapore sauce, chicken and mushrooms, and I have that, and it's very, very bulky. It's like 200-300 grams of just or I make like white duck mixed with egg and black bean sauce, so that is pretty good. So I'll sometimes have it's very cheap, it's like £4 or £5. So then I'll have that on the way, so I'll buy that instead of having to cook dinner or using up my pre-made meals, because then I can put that for lunch. So that's so sometimes every now and then I'll actually just pass by Wok if it's cheap enough and have money for that month, or it's within my budget, I will have that. So that's how I'm kind of structuring my life, and how I've been structuring my life for the past 3 months. It's been difficult getting that structure, but it's been doing so much better for me. I'm on medication, but not like very, very hardcore medication. I'm just on like one tablet a day. I have like a little app on my phone that tells me when to take it. So I usually pack it in my bag and I take it at a regular time. So my phone app tells me and it logs it, and I can check a log to make sure I've been consistent on taking it at a certain time. I signed up on Saturdays. I also do parkrun now, so I started doing parkrun. So if anyone's ever at the Oldham parkrun on Saturdays, I will be there on Saturdays doing the parkrun, because I do love a small jog. And I'm trying to get some good times with my running. So my running has actually improved a lot. I used to be really, really bad at running. I used to run for like 1 minute and I'd be like, oh, I'm so tired. But my running's improved a lot. My swimming's improved a lot. And my overall fitness has improved a lot. And I think I'm a lot more confident once I've started working out and having a rigid structure. So that's the kind of the focus of my 2025 is discipline. Some people would say that's exhausting or I'm overworking, but that's actually a lot better. I'm a lot more healthier this way, because I was working constantly, and it was a lot more kind of haphazard, and I would just keep taking shifts and extra shifts, and I would keep doing some admin for work at home, and I would just engrossed in work, and I was engrossed in, and I was really unhealthy. And I'd spend hours on Instagram and just going through reels and thinking about how terrible my life was, and why nothing would go my way, and why I'm not doing well in university. And it was I was really kind of in this bubble of just pure just kind of sadness, and it was getting so bad that I had to make a difference, because in my life, and I had to be, okay, I'm going to become a little more selfish now and just kind of focus on me. And I wanted to focus on what's important, how I deal with bad days, and how I deal with losing people in my life, and how I deal with, having a bit of a balance. So I can go pretty well. I mean, if I get a good 6 hours of sleep, even 5.5, 5, I actually feel quite good. Before I was only getting 3, 4. So I've improved the amount of hours that I'm sleeping. My goal is 6 to 8, but I think even having the 6 hours, 5.5 has been a lot of change and difference for me. It's baby steps and improvements that I do for myself. But also not getting so engrossed in other people's lives and engrossed in the people I've lost, or just kind of what have I done wrong, and focusing on so much things that, that doesn't really even matter, but it's kind of the way that I was thinking was not a healthy way of thinking, and wasn't healthy to maintain good conversations with people and good interactions with people. And I think that way of thinking, the level of kind of mindset that I was in, needed to improve or change to fit that way that I want to live, and the way how comfortable I want to feel with the day-to-day, and dealing with difficult days, and dealing with good days and bad days, and having good days. So that's the kind of the focus I've had for the last 3 months. And now with 2025, I know a lot of people say New Year's resolutions are lame or whatever, but or a lot of people move away from it, but I generally like it because I can set goals, and it's kind of a time to reflect on the good and the bad. And I think this year I'd really love to be able to handle bad situations or bad interactions with people, or people that have come and gone in my life a lot more in a more healthy manner. I don't think I'm really the best at kind of giving a lot of people advice in life. So I'm trying to kind of focus on what's going on in my life, like where can I change in my life, instead of giving other people advice on how to change their own lives. So say with whatever's going on in my life what you will, but I think that's a healthier way for me to kind of engage with myself at the moment, and the way that I interact with people. I would love to be there for people a bit more, but I'm really just kind of focusing on myself. And I think as I get there and I get a lot more structured and rigid, I can really make probably a better difference in the way that I help other people, and the way that I help, the way I help my patients. And I would love to, and once I'm a vet, that's my goal. All of this that I come to the UK, everybody knows everybody who knows me knows I came to the UK to become a vet, and this is my process of becoming a vet. So it's the highs and the lows, it's the setbacks and the obstacles that have gone there. So this is the year's process. So I'm not on chapter 20, but I'm on chapter 1 or 2, and this is my chapter 2. Chapter 1 is moving to the UK, figuring how to navigate in the UK, and I think I've started to navigate now in the UK. Now chapter 2 is getting to vet school, and doing that in a healthy way, because it is a marathon and not a sprint. A lot of people say that, but it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And how am I going to enjoy the journey and the process? And it's because it's going to be quite a few years. I'm doing a bachelor's degree in biology until I get my residency, because I can't afford vet school, but I can afford the cheaper degrees, which is like biology, which will help get me some credits for when I can afford to go to vet school. So right now I'm just waiting for residency. Till then I'm not going to stay stagnant. I'm going to keep my mind active, keep focusing on furthering my career into getting into vet school. So that's why I'm getting education. So biology is the way I'm doing it. I'm in university, so I'm on an online university. So they're very good as a university, and it's called the Open University. So and they really, that's stuff that we don't really have as much access to in South Africa, and that is amazing, where I can actually focus on my education and school at the same time. And the Open University really provides a lot of help for the students who are struggling and who have struggled with their courses, and they've really been very, very helpful for me. And I think me actually having the courage to speak to the university about, look, I'm struggling with university, is there any way I can get help, or what's your advice? And they gave me a lot of advice, and they have a lot of resources for people who have had a hard time. And that's been really great. So this kind of last 3 months is me building a structure into university, and navigating life, and navigating the world that I'm in. And that's what I've been doing so far. And I don't care if anybody watches what I have to say. I don't really mind. But I think it's a good kind of video diary for me, starting into 2025, and to see how I progress now for the next few years. And even if I post once a month or once every few months, maybe even more often, whatever, I'd love to, I might probably going to reflect back on these videos and just see, you know, how far I've come, and if my mind, you know, and how this process of keeping a good discipline has affected me, and how it affects my grades and the way that I meet people and interact with people. So I'm excited for the 2025 year, and I'm excited to see where I go. And if there is somebody who's watched all the way through to the end, thank you for listening to my rambles and my rants about absolutely just kind of everything that's going on in my life. I do appreciate my friends and my family, and for those who've invested their time in me, thank you so much. I forget to be appreciative of those who are in my life, and thank you for even those who just take the time to message me. For those who've even, like, during the year at random spots, just, hey Nev, how you doing, just checking on you, that means a lot to people like me. I do love it when people who I know, who have been important to me, you know, want to engage with me a bit. I like it, you know. I like to get to know, or to keep up tabs with people that have been in my life, and so that's great. But so thank you, and I hope everybody has a great new year, and you'll probably see more videos of me doing stuff in my life. That's going to be like kind of a video diary for myself, and yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds, and how I'm going to tackle obstacles and keep my discipline in the future. And this is me holding myself accountable, and eating chicken and rice for forever, trying to get in shape. But yep, this is going to be me. So yeah, fantastic.